Okay, let's carpet a room. Carpet is made in big reels, and they're usually 12 feet wide. And if you need a 2 foot by 3 foot piece of carpet for a closet, you can't just buy 6 square feet, two by 3, 6 square feet, like a small one, unless you buy a remnant. If you buy a remnant, fine. But if you're buying it off of the carpet reel, you would have to do a 2 by 12 and then slice it off. So we would have to buy a 2 by 12 and then cut it to a dimension of 2 by 3. In other words, you would pay for 24 square feet because it's a 2 by 12, but you would only need 6 square feet for the actual closet. Okay, unless you buy a remnant. But if you're buying it from the reel, that's what you would need to do. Okay, here is the bedroom. We're gonna carpet. Bedroom and closet. Bedroom and closet. This is on page 233 of the Mercer and Sebecki book. Okay, I'm noticing they give dimensions in inches. There's a doorway right here. There's a doorway right here. Got it. Find the area of the bedroom without the closet in square inches. Remember, area, it's a rectangle. Area is length times width. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do right now. Just so that everyone is crystal clear. When we do this dimension of 128 by this dimension of 182, we are finding the area, okay, within this purple. So we are leaving out these door frames, and we are just doing this interior of this bedroom here. Okay, so area, length 182 inches by width, okay, 128 inches. Let's compute. 182 times 128. I get 23,296 square inches. Or if you prefer to write inches squared, inch by inch. So just remembering what we had previously talked about. Yeah, square inches. Find the area of the closet. Okay. So now we're looking at, I'm going to make it green. Here is the closet that we're going to need to carpet. Area of the closet is 64 inches by 50 inches. What's 5 times 6? 30? Get 3,200 square inches. Got it. But I noticed that I've left a gap here and I don't have anything in the doorway, which is also weird. Okay. Oh, speaking of which, number 3. Each doorway is 32 inches wide, and the walls are 4 inches thick. Okay, so just so that we are understanding this, right here, that dimension right there, that is 4 inches. And from here to here, that is 32 inches wide. Got it. Same over here. 4 inches by 32 inches. Okay, so the area needs carpet too. Each room carpets half of the doorway it is connected to. Okay, so what that means is that there is this sliver here that goes halfway between, and then they put a transition piece. Okay, so right there, we need to carpet that half of that doorway, which means that this would be a, what, 2 by 32 in terms of carpeting. And then here we would have both of these. It would go like that, but this one we would do it from both sides. So this one would actually be a 4 inches by 32 inches. So here, the dimensions of this, 4 inches by 32 inches. Okay. How many square inches does this add to the total area that needs to be carpeted? Okie dokie. Well, 2 inches by 32 inches plus 4 inches by 32 inches, which by the way would be 6. This is 2 32s plus 4 32s, which is 6 32s, in case you're wanting to combine like terms. Which, by the way, the 32 inches are considered the like terms there. Combine 2 of them plus 4 of them makes 6 of them. 192 square inches inside these door frames here. Got it. We know that there are 36 inches in 1 yard. 12 inches in each foot, 3 feet in each yard, hence 36 inches in 1 yard. Okay, I see it's magnified here. So, just so that, okay, so this means this is each foot. I think this is a 12 by 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so this is a foot by foot. So this square right here has been magnified to this. So this is inside each one of these and each one of these then. So there are 36. So if you go 12, 12, and 12, you would have a 36 by 30. I'm going to label that actually. So this is from here to here, 36 inches. And the dimensions along the bottom are also 36 inches. How many square inches are there in 1 square yard? Okay, let's write this out. So 1 yard by 1 yard is 1 square yard. But now if we're going inches here, we have 36 inches by 36 inches. Let's see, 36 by 36 is 1,296 square inches. So notice I took the yards, and if you wanted to see some in-between conversions, so I'm just going to show this even though I'm not demanding it in this question. What we could have done is, okay, so 1 yard by 1 yard is what we are given here. And 1 yard converted into, let's see, 1 yard is our whole dimension on one side, and there are 3 feet in each yard. So 3 feet in each yard. But that only converted one of these. That only converted this first one. And the second one, 1 yard is our whole, 3 feet in 1 yard would give us, okay, so just to follow our previous unit conversion strategy, 3 by 3, so it would give us this 3 by 3 in feet right here, which is 9 square feet, but then each foot would have to be converted. So this 3 feet by 3 feet then got changed into this 36 inches by 36 inches. Okay, so just so that we keep in mind, we had to convert this yard, the length, and we had to convert this yard, the width, in order to find out how many total square inches there would be in here. And there are a lot of them. A lot of tiny little square inches in there. Okay. Use the conversion factor you just made in order to convert the total carpeted area into square yards. Okie dokie. Okay, that means we're going to need to add up all these three from number 1, 2, and 3 to find the total square inches. Okay. Got it. So first, I have a little bit of space down here. Let's use it. So we've got the area of the bedroom plus the area of the closet plus the area in each doorway. So we have 23,296 square inches plus 3,200 square inches plus 192 square inches. That is all getting carpet. Let's total that. I ended up with 26,688 square inches. Okay, so that's how much square inches of carpet we need. And we're supposed to convert that into square yards. Oh, well, in every square yard, there are 1,296 square inches. Okay, so I get it. We're doing a unit conversion here. This is our label, and this is our ratio. So 26,688 square inches is our whole carpet job. And our unit ratio says that each square yard is 1,296 square inches. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that division, and I end up with a weird number. I'm going to have to round this. So I think that we should overestimate because we wouldn't want to be missing a chunk of carpet. So it says 20.59259259, and I'm going to go ahead and round that to 20.6 square yards. Okay, so we just converted it from 26.5 square inch and 26.5 thousand square inches to 20.6 square yards. Got it. A professional installer estimates that the bedroom and closet will need 24 2/3 square yards of carpet. Okay. They're usually super good, by the way. It's amazing how well they estimate just by sight because they do these measurements so frequently. How does this compare to the actual square yards that you found the room to be? Oh, this is asking for the change or the difference. All right, so the new amount is 24 2/3 square yards, and we originally, so just so that we go back, remember I'm just using this again, the change is the new amount compared to the original amount, and we originally computed that area to be what, 20.6? square yards. And noticing that our units are the same, and so we're able to subtract these, and it actually makes sense in terms of units. All right, 24 plus 2/3, and then minus 20.6. Okie dokie. And now I have to estimate this too. That difference is about 4. I guess we could say 4.1 about, because this would go 0.66666666 repeating, and then this would have just a 0.6, so it's about 4.1-ish square yards different. And it's positive because the installer gave an overestimate, which is a good thing. Calculate the relative error between the estimate and the actual area of the room. Round to 2 decimal places. Okay, here we go. The relative error is the percent change, which was the change compared to the original. And we said we had originally computed it to be 20.6 square yards. And then scale it up to be a percentage. So 4.1 divided by 20.6. So relative to our computation. So this is actually saying the installer relative to how we computed it. And then scale up to be a percentage. This is approximately, says round to 2 decimal places. 19.90. 19.90%. Okay, an overestimate by about 20%. Write a sentence that describes the meaning of the relative error in the context of the situation. So I just said it out loud, so let's write it down. The installer is overestimating by about 20% of the actual area. I'll leave it. You have to pay for the estimate that the professionals make. They can't trust you, you know? I mean, come on. They have a job to do and they're not going to get shortchanged. Shouldn't get shortchanged. That the professional made, since people trust the person with experience. Yes. The family picked a carpet that cost $28 per square yard. Oh, it's a good thing that all of these are in square yards. Yeah. Yay, square yards. Okay. How much do they pay for the carpet? Okay. So we just got to make sure that we're using this because that is what this says here, $28 per square yard. And which is why the professionals use yardage instead of inches in their computations, because of this cost, and why we had to convert this anyway. Where did I put it? I mean, originally we had it as 26,688 square inches. The whole reason why we had to convert this is because the cost is per square yard. So here we go. Their estimate was 24 2/3 square yards. So 24 2/3 square yards times, that is our whole room, if you want to keep these handy, $28 per 1 square yard is the cost rate. And it looks like let's go ahead and multiply. That is going to cost us about, so now we're going to have to round it again. And we are going to round it to the nearest penny. So $690.67. About. How much do they pay for the carpet? $690, 67 cents. How many yards of carpet get paid for but won't be used? Now, every time I have someone, like I've gotten some carpet, so we did fix up one townhouse. Anyway, I was just remembering about that and how painful that was. Anyway, we did have them carpet, and the remnants, they ask, like, do you want these? Do you want us to leave it behind? Do you want us to take it? Whatever. Like, all of those scrap pieces, they're more than happy to leave them behind if you want them, like in your garage or wherever. But so how much did we pay for that won't be used because it's just sliced off and put somewhere? So, well, we found the difference, 4.1 square yards. So that is 4.1 square yards. How many square yards? Oh, get paid for. This is how much get paid for, don't get used. And how much money did you spend on that? Well, you spent $28. So, for each square yard of that. So, about $114.80. You know, something that has to happen though. Few remarks. My first remark is this. Remember that there are so many different ways to compute percent change. So percent change, or synonyms for this. Percent change, relative difference, relative amount, relative or percent error. So I'm just listing this because, I mean, these are all the same thing, and they're all that same formula of change compared to the original. But there are so many different ways that people phrase this when they're actually speaking English. Also, something big happened here. When we were converting from square inches, so converting from square yards to square inches, we needed to convert each dimension. Be sure to convert each dimension. Length and width. And then go ahead and, but this is really, really, really weird. What I mean by that is, you know, people see it as 9 square yards, and they don't think, oh my gosh, that's a 9 by 9 because it's or a 3 by 3 because it's a square. And it is, it was a square. So whenever we see something like square yard, we really should write out yard by yard and fill in some blanks, and then make sure that we convert each of these to whatever inches by whatever inches. Okay, so there's more conversions. The higher you are, like squares, cubes, whatever, the more conversions you are layering on. For instance, when it comes to volume, so if we had volume, which is length by width by height, then just for a rectangular prism, we would have to convert more. So we would have to convert, requires converting cubes. Okay, but remember, cubes are 3 dimensions, or cubics, so we would have to go something like, okay, so cubic yards would be however many yards by however many yards by however many yards. Length by width by heart. I'm sorry, not by heart. Length by width by height. And that each one of those would then have to be converted. Length into inches, width into inches, height into inches, in order to get cubic inches. Okay, so when we see cubic yards, we can't just convert the yards once. We have to do it 3 times. Okay, and that's pretty tricky, especially if we don't write it out to jog our memory. So, a couple of things. Converting between units of measurements, of course. Scale measurements of 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional objects. So that's what this is all about, yes? So from cubic yards into cubic inches, from square yards into square inches, etc. Make sure you do each one. And computing the relative error. So not forgetting that we keep using a couple of these formulas, that the change is the new compared to, or the difference between the new and the original amount, and that the percent change, also known as the relative difference, also known as the relative error, also known as the percent change, whatever, I already said that, is the ratio of the change compared to the original. Okay, so this section 2.6, all about error and the significance of that error, and also about every time we do rounding. So this is called propagating error because every time you round, I don't even know how many times did we round in this problem. We rounded here, we rounded twice, we rounded 3 times. Every time you do that, you are incurring more and more error, and that is called propagating. So each time you round, you're a little bit further away from the true amount. Okay, till next time.